Blue Meanie dance. How you doing? My name is CODENAMEBIGBEAR, or Stuart if you want to call me by my first name. Welcome to the Bear's Den. Today we are going to be talking about a game called Retromania Wrestling. It's not actually out yet, it doesn't come out until February. But the reason we're talking about it today on January 30th, 2021 is because the Royal Rumble is tonight. WWE's Royal Rumble. This is, one of the big events. This is the one that kicks off the road to WrestleMania. And I'm very excited. I love me some Royal Rumble and WrestleMania and, well, just WWE in general, to be honest. I'm just a bit of a fanboy. I can't really help myself. Anyway, the reason why I'm talking about Retromania Wrestling and not, say, a WWE game or even the AEW game is because, well, this game hasn't got much fanfare. It's got people who are interested, obviously, but there's not a huge amount of fanfare for it, and I personally think it looks really quite impressive. Wrestling fans are just crying out for an arcade-style wrestling game that is actually good. We're tired of the simulation games. The 2K games that we're getting with WWE have progressively gotten worse and more boring. Just look at last year's release. Holy cow, that was bad. But this one, Retromania Wrestling itself, is a sequel to WrestleFest, and it's made by an independent company. And obviously, I mean, just look at the images I'm showing you right now. They just look so good. They look so amazing. They remind me so much of the 90s, SNES games, 90s and 80s arcade games that were around at the time. And they just look fantastic. Not only that, there have been massive amounts of improvements within these games, within this game compared to the original game, obviously. Retromania Wrestling does actually have a story mode to start off with. You pick your character and you progress through a story. I'm not sure if the stories change for different characters throughout the game, but basically you start off as a character, you come in new into the business, and you obviously got to fight your way to get the title of Retromania Wrestling. I've said that quite a lot, and it's kind of sounding like there's nothing there anymore. But either way, you've got to fight your way through, and it has some really cool cutscenes. I mean, they're not fully animated, they kind of slide in. You'll see something on the screen as well, but you have these characters come in and talk away, and they tell you the story as you're going through, and you've got to progress and do the matches as the game sees fit. And you've got some really cool stuff here. You've got this amazing artwork, and you've got a really great roster of characters to pick from. In fact, actually, I'm going to read out a whole load of these. It's going to take a little while. I do apologize for saying a little while. There's quite a lot. I cannot remember them off the top of my head, so please forgive me. I'm going to use my notepad. So we have Austin Idol, Nikita Koloff, Hollywood Nova, Warhorse, who I'd never heard of until the production of this game started happening. I've checked out a few of his matches. That guy's pretty badass. So check out some Warhorse stuff. We have Big Stevie Cool, or Steven Richards, in his BWO, so Blue World Order stuff, which is pretty amazing, to be fair. I love me some Blue World Order. Zack Sabre Jr., the Blue Meanie. He's doing his dance earlier. Jeff Cobb, Hawk and Animal, the Road Warriors, or Legion of Doom. These guys, they no longer with us, and to have them in this Retromania game is pretty amazing. I love the Road Warriors. They were fantastic. They were my favourite tag team growing up. And then that slowly changed once the Attitude Era hit, and that pretty much came the Hardy Boys and the Dudley Boys and things like that. But back on topic. Colt Cabana, Johnny Retro, or as he's known in current WWE, John Morrison, who is teaming up with The Miz currently right now. And John Morrison is pretty amazing. Thing is, the reason he's in this game is because he signed up to this game before he went back to WWE, and they're using his likeness, and they're not using his WWE name, so he's allowed to be in this game. He is Johnny Retro, like when he was in, I want to say, TNT? I don't know. Impact Wrestling, he was Johnny Nitro, for instance. Yeah, you get the idea. It's still really cool he's actually in it. We have the absolute legend of hardcore. Not the legend, not Mick Foley, but we have Tommy Dreamer, ECW alum. Tommy Dreamer is in this game, and I'm very excited to see this as well. Love Tommy Dreamer. Love Tommy Dreamer so much. Matt Cardona or Zack Ryder, and we also have Brian Myers, who is Kurt Hawkins. Now, these two guys were released in WWE last year, and as soon as they were released, the guys at Retromania contacted them instantly, and they got them on board, which is pretty amazing to get them straight away like that as well, and they just really snapped them up. And yes, two great wrestlers are going to be in this game as well. We also have Nick Aldis and Chris Bay. Now, a lot of the wrestlers on this roster, I know of, which is really great. Which is a really nice thing to do, and hopefully people my age who will actually enjoy this game will know, and younger people will at least have an idea of some of these people. The fact that they're here, they will have their own specific signature moves, and apparently the signature moves are very easy to pull off as well. You have to get its momentum meter filled right up, and you hit a certain direction on a button, which would normally say give you a power kick, but instead will give you say Stone Cold Stunner. I'm just kind of throwing out a move there, and it's not actually one that's going to be in this game necessarily. But the roster is pretty much as it is right now. There will be some future wrestlers coming in the future, obviously with DLC, but that's after the game will release. So Creator Wrestler isn't going to be in this game. I'm going to kind of rip off that plaster straight away. The reason being is developers really, they want it in there. They think it's a great idea, and they think it's something that every wrestling game should have, but it's something they just don't have time to work on. This game was supposed to be released in August last year, in 2020, but it is going to be released here in February, on the 26th of February this year, 2021. At least that's what they hope. There hopefully shouldn't be any more delays. But the reason, again, they're not putting Creator Character in there is because, well, it's just extra work that they kind of don't need to focus on. They don't need to focus on that at all. If they focus on that, that means there's going to be a bigger delay, and they don't want that at all. They want this game out there as fast as they can, so people like you and me can actually play this and really enjoy the game. And the current build right now is looking pretty spectacular. I've not got my hands on it yet. I will hopefully be able to get my hands on it before the game comes out, and I'll give you a nice little review of it. But we will see. We'll check the future. We'll go from there. On the builds, we actually have. So what we know about the builds right now is the PlayStation 4 version is working amazingly. It's working, barring a couple of bugs that are working out right now, is working really, really well. Xbox version working really, really well. Again, a few more bugs than the PlayStation one, and the Switch one is being a bit more of a pain in the bum with a few extra bugs again. But again, it's something that they got a team of people working around the world on this game, and they're really focusing on getting it done. Now, I know all of this. Most of my information is coming from the developer videos that you will find on Retrosoft Studios on YouTube. If you're interested in it, check it out. They are really good. Mike on there just gives you some fantastic information. They are completely and utterly transparent with everything they do about this game, and it's just really nice to see. These guys are working really hard, and they understand they're working really hard. They even call it their own crunch time. But they're an independent guys. They're doing it themselves. They're doing it because they have the passion to do it. They're not being forced to do it by large corporations like we've heard about with a few studios recently, which is never good, let's face that. I don't really want these guys to kill themselves making this game. If this game doesn't come out until August because they can relax and actually get things done, I would prefer that, to be honest. But if they do get it out and it's perfect and it runs amazingly, and then they can start focusing on other things at a slower pace and have themselves a break, then that's up to them. And if they get it out, brilliant, amazing, thank you. If they don't worry about it, guys. Still excited for this game. So the match types you have in this game are quite varied. We have a nice little range, because the whole idea about this game is drop in, drop out. You can just kind of pick up the game and play for a couple of matches and go. We have things like single matches, obviously. We have tag matches, 6-man tag matches, 8-man tag matches, a retro rumble, which sounds pretty amazing, triple threat matches, fatal 4-ways, those kind of things are in there. You can also have cage matches, elimination matches. There's quite a lot of variety here, and you can change up things as you go. There are customizable things you can do within the game, like option-wise, you can have a ring around your character where you can kind of see what you're looking at. Which is really helpful for games like this, especially when you have more than one character on the screen, well, more than 2 characters on the screen, and you can kind of point their way. you get the idea. The cursor arena points you where you go. I'm just gonna go down here. And to go with those modes, you have 2 to 8 player local playing. So you can have somebody on the couch for 8 people with you in the same room playing locally on this game, which is pretty amazing. And online is to be determined. But I imagine they're going to be working online pretty quickly to get that sorted out for you. If there isn't any online when this game launches, a bit of a shame. But I'll be playing on a Switch, and I just don't bother playing it. Even if I play on the Xbox, I won't play with anybody, I'll just play against the computer. And as far as I can see, the AI is working pretty amazingly, again, watching these dev videos. So, you know, there is an element that will be there coming soon and in the future, which is really, really nice. Each and every character has their own ring entrance and their own ring music, which is obviously brilliant, which hopefully, again, when it comes to that creator character in the future, we might get creator entrances as well, which is pretty sweet. Something I absolutely adored back in the day playing WrestleMania 18 on the GameCube. I would sit there for hours making just an entrance for myself, and then it kind of got a bit boring later on with other entrances into the WWE universe. But I'm just gonna stop rambling. Yeah, talking about entrances, we also have the arenas. Now the arenas are really cool. Some of them have Easter eggs within it, like the Too Many Games arena, for instance, has a ton of Easter eggs and a ton of things for anybody who watches YouTube on the regular as well. We have cameos from people like John Riggs. There is RGT85 in there. Jay and Silent Bob are there. If you throw your enemy into one of those tables, the ring itself will automatically change to, or the mat will automatically change to a symbol of what you've just thrown it into. There's just some really cool stuff in this game, and apparently there's loads more things happening. Loads more cameos within the Too Many Games arena that are just going to appear, because it's kind of like wrestling at a con, a Comic Con or a gaming con. Yeah, and that's what they're kind of aiming for there. And you know, from what we understand, is Mike is a fan. The developer of this game is a fan of these people when he put them in there. And they're also doing it. They were doing a promotion as well, giving away Jay and Silent Bob More Brawl with the competition they were doing on Retrosoft Studios, and that was great. And More Brawl was a fantastic game. You guys should definitely check it out. Yes, such a good game. One of the actual rings that they do, one of the arenas that they're doing, really hit me in the nostalgia. If you grew up in the 90s like I did, and I say actually grew up in the 90s, I was born in 87, you watched wrestling, you got wrestling toys, you had those classic you know, Hulk Hogan figures with their hands like this, and he kind of slam like that, and that's pretty much all they did. Or they do this, and they just jump, and you get the idea. Tatanka, you know, Tatanka. Do you know, Tatanka would be a great character in this game, I think. I think it'd be a really good one to pick out. But you had these old classic wrestling figures, but the thing that went with them was the wrestling ring, this blue wrestling ring, which had a couple of slots for your belts. You can just kind of put them there. It had a pretend bell attached to it. It had the red, white, and blue ropes around it, and it just looked great. And Retromania Wrestling has that ring in the game. It looks amazing. That is going to be the first, if it's unlocked straight away, it's going to be the first arena I will pick to play this game on, because again, right in the nostalgia. I love things like this. I really do. I think it's fantastic. Yeah, they really thought about, you know, again, being wrestling fans from back in the day, back from the golden age of WWF, you know, right the way through to the now, with people like Johnny Retro being in this game. This game is a full-on love letter to wrestling, and you know, those wrestling fans. You know, the guys have picked out characters and wrestlers that they think you're gonna really enjoy playing as. But the whole presentation of this game, with all its announcing that happens as well, with Colt Cabana on announcing on the announce tables, and a few other people that, you know, I can't remember the names of. There's so many things to go with this game. But it is a full-on love letter, as I said, and it looks amazing. It looks like the arcade games of the 80s and 90s, and it just has this amazing pixel art and this modern presentation of it. And the fact you've got these really cool, you know, we got Hawk and Animal in this game. I mean, come on, you got the Road Warriors in this. That's fantastic, and you could pull off. You know, you can pull off all their moves, and you can do all the things that you would expect from a wrestling game. You know, you can be a bit over the top, and you be over the top, and you don't have to have like a weird wheel to get out of the pin. You just mash that button and you'll get out of the pin. You got things like second wind and close falls, and that kind of are randomly thrown in there. You might get lucky and be able to kick out with 0 energy, which happens. Come on, Hulk Hogan would get battered and get up and then Hulk the flip out. But basically, the whole reason I've done this video is because this game looks really great. It is one I am genuinely looking forward to. Even if I don't get a code, I will be buying it day of release, and I will be doing a review of it. And it's just, I love wrestling so much, and like I said, the Royal Rumble is tonight. I'm very excited. I really hope Daniel Bryan wins, but then again, The Rock might return, or Brock Lesnar might return, and they might win. And if they win, that's going to be them versus Roman Reigns. And there's some really exciting stuff going on in WWE right now because people aren't working. John Cena's not really working right now. The Rock's not working. They could return. That'd be so cool. The Royal Rumble is very, very exciting. And the fact we got this wrestling game coming out less than a month after that, it's going to be really cool. And on the Switch as well, especially, there's not many wrestling games. There are a few, but there's not many. You have Wrestling Empire, which to me looks really naff, but I mean, there's lots of customizable stuff you can do in that game, but it does look pretty. I'm just going to give that a go at some point. But this game just looks like it is tailored specifically for me. Everything about this game is going, hey Stuart, look at everything here. It's got all your favourite things you love about wrestling. It's got all the kind of artwork you love. You love retro games. Here's a retro wrestling game. Enjoy it. We got retro in the title. And just, I'm so excited for it. I can't express that enough. I really can't. It is an independent wrestling game, and if you don't support it, we might not get any help towards everything else. So if you like the look of this game, put it into your favourites. Find a way to do it. It will be put onto the stores very soon, according to, again, the last dev video. Within the next few days, it'll be on the store, so pre-order it if you like the look of it, and give it a good go. Really play this game and support the independent developers. They are working their asses off right now, and again, I'm not being paid. There's no promotion for this. I'm just so excited for this game, and I really think we should support these guys. They're doing an amazing job, and yeah, I'm gonna stop gushing and stop kind of praising this too much, because I might have overhyped it for myself. I never know, but everything I've seen just sounds so good. But guys, that is the state of play for Retromania Wrestling for Switch, Xbox, and PS4, PlayStation just in general, because I believe it is coming to next gen consoles as well. If you think it looks good, you think I'm too excitable about it, I don't know, you don't think it looks any good at all, let me know in the comments down below. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. We have tons of videos here on YouTube. I think it's like over 500 now. Might be. But yeah, like, share, subscribe. Check out our videos. We have a website as well with tons of articles about video gaming just in general. There's a bit more wrestling as well. And Mikey did a video on the state of play of the AEW wrestling game recently, which will be in the links at some point as well. But guys, have yourself a great day, and don't forget to be nice to each other, yeah?